Okay, so again, Peter has actually been my,
I got that.
thank you so much. So Peter has been my coach basically on the follow-up systems and the things that we're doing. And what this does is it's saving people not only a lot of time, but helping them be more productive. And I want him to talk more about it. But again, we've had a great relationship for a couple of months now. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And he's been dealing with me for a while, so pray for him. So Peter, I'll let the floor be yours. You can talk more about what you do, how you do it, the systems that we use, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. I really appreciate the introduction. And I've really, I always go back to this quote from Lou Holtz, which is, Lou Holtz was always my favorite coach. I was a Notre Dame fan and read a lot of his books and seen him speak. And he said, I'm a good coach. I'm a better coach with better players. And I think we all agree, right? Like there's just some relationships that multiply us, that we get more results out of. And when you think like for an entire year, I used the word multiplication as my word of the year. Everything I did. And in some ways, it really kind of messed up my brain because I was so focused on looking for multiplication. But what it ended up leading me to was this journey of we can't have multiplication in our life without systems. And so many of us have got into a business owner role, but we started in a W-2 role. We started delivering newspapers. We started mowing lawns. We were babysitting, whatever it was, working a local grocery store. The only way to get more was to work more hours or get paid more per hour. So it's kind of how our brains are always wired. So the first exercise, and I'll just take you guys all through it right now for yourselves so that you can understand how it works. The first exercise I go through with anyone is what I call the time cost calculator. And it's something that I've come up with to help people understand the impact of their time and what it costs them in relation to their goal. And when you start understanding how much your time costs you in relation to your goal, I see as a coach, people automatically make decisions and take different actions that would have taken me 3 months of mindset coaching to get them through, right? So it really helps strip away the non-essential and help you get your bigger impact. And eventually you'll see that impact of your time. The only way to realize that at a high level is to put systems in place. So I've been in the real estate industry for over 25 years now. I've been a coach for the last decade straight. And I've coached, I don't know, several thousand real estate agents. I've done work outside the real estate industry, but just real estate agents. I've done over 3,000 and they've probably earned over 100 million in commissions while working with me. So I have the experience of a lot of different people. I had a lot of clients in Canada, so I saw different styles of business, but it all kind of gets back to this impact of our time. So as a coach, I would coach people on follow-up. When I was taking this deep dive to solve time management and everything, and it really kind of led me to the doorstep of follow-up and follow-up systems. There is no greater impact on your income and your time than a follow-up system. And there's 5 core follow-ups that you need to do it. And if you don't have them in place, we can't talk about time management. Time management does not get solved until follow-up gets solved, period. It doesn't. Until you can control that at a higher level and get a greater return on your time, you will always be chasing. And so much of it is done now in an unsustainable way because that's what worked. But what we didn't realize is maybe that worked to get the client on the phone, but everything else was a pain in the ass because of how we did it. So when you set up your follow-ups correctly, really what it is, it's just this sort of roadmap for a client on the journey that they're already on to a place they're already going. And your follow-up systems is your process for getting them closer to the finish line. And so that's what I did. So for you guys all there, you got a calculator in hand, pull up in your phone, notepad real quick. I'll take Anybody just kind of raise your hand and let's do this exercise together. So somebody want to do it with me? Go ahead. Whether or not you were scratching your face.
Me?
Yeah,
Sure, go
Sure,
for
I'll
it.
do it. I'll do it. Why not?
All right, perfect. So pretending today is January 1, how many weeks this year are you going to choose to work?
48.
Okay.
Good number.
Hey, there it is.
Okay. Now, how many hours per week represents a good work-life balance for you?
Probably I would say 50.
50? Okay. That's a good life balance for you? Or
Well, I mean, I'd like to work 1 hour a week and be just as successful, but you know,
okay. Do you want to go to 40?
Sure, yeah, let's do 40.
Okay. All right. So, in the next year, what's your gross income goal?
Realistic or dreaming? I mean, I would love to make $500,000, but I would say probably, let's say 250,000.
Okay. 250,000. And we'll come back to the 500 in just a minute. So your time in relation to hitting that $250,000 costs you $130.21. So, you know, if I don't know what you do, but let's just say you're a real estate agent, if you're going to make a flyer and it's going to take you an hour to do that, you've spent $130, excuse me, in time on that flyer. And that's the immediate beginning for a lot of people to get to a place of, oh, I'm starting to, like, I see that now, right? And that's kind of the first place where I'll have the, you know, the savvy thinkers will start going, oh yeah, I need to start using the VA more, or I need to start outsourcing something else more. But it's more than just that. So the big challenge that I have with a lot of coaching clients is they think in terms of how much do I want to make this year? And going back to the original part of the conversation with a W-2 mindset, that, you know, the person that makes $250,000 a year has a monthly income of over $20,000, right? And so immediately where I start with people is, okay, no matter what your yearly goal is, let's break that down to a monthly, because until we hit $20,000 2 months in a row, you're not going to make it 12 months in a row. And no matter what your income is, whether it's, you know, mortgage lending or realtor, I've got lots of different industries on this. You've got to start thinking of what are the systems that I need to be in place that produce $20,000 in income. And after that, it's just sort of, okay, then we have the 3 KPIs to business, which are the moment of awareness, the moment someone takes a significant action with you, and the moment that they experience the value of your service, right? Somebody that Greg has come to me, he has hit number 2 in that he's taken a significant action. He's signed up with coaching for me, but is he at the moment that he has experienced the value of my service? He might not have experienced that yet. So my systems haven't been good enough to get him there yet. But every, you know, and certain obviously values take longer than others, but everything in your business should be designed to get somebody to whatever their KPI 3 is. When someone comes to me to sell a house, the goal in their life on their vision board, nowhere was there a picture of me and my marketing at the closing office with a happy couple. That's not the life goal of these sellers. The life goal of these sellers is to sell to move to be closer to grandkids, to downsize, to, you know, to do something else, to upsize, whatever it is, to have a backyard for the first time in their life. So that's the moment of value for that client. And no matter what business it is, if we don't know that, we're not going to be able to provide it. But as soon as we can get clarity on that and how we get somebody to there faster, rolling out the systems is actually pretty easy. So
Well,
I
I was gonna say,
created,
can you talk a little bit about, I was gonna talk maybe a little bit about the systems, because again, that's there's so much to that. So many people are paying for all these different pieces of the puzzle, and we can put it all together in kind of one platform, which I think is.
yep. So there's 5 core follow-ups that we need, and we need, people come into sales, and typically the first level is they go out and they get us their own CRM. They've left a company that had a software for them, and now they go out and they own their own. And then the next level is they're going up to, they're getting websites now, they're getting social media going, but none of it is talking to itself. And then that last level is having a system that runs your system, what we call a level 4 system that you own. And so that's what we deliver, is we deliver a system that runs everything for you, that the CRM talks to the website, talks to the social media, keeps you up to date. Dashboards are automatically updated. And the 5 core follow-ups that I was talking about, we've already built those. So, for us, what we really recognized was the moment of value that we can help people get to is have the number one channel of their business, have 5 core follow-up systems in place working within 3 weeks. And then once you've got that level of system set up, everything else is just sort of a duplicate and a branch off of that. So we do it on the high level software, and we do it by sort of getting to know your business and what are the parts of your business that are slowing you down. It's almost, instead of like trying to drill down on what the essential is, we spend a little bit more chipping away the non-essential. So Greg regularly gets requests like every single day. Hey, can you send me more info? And he's got to get the contact information, put it into something, physically send it out. And, he's fortunate to be as busy as he is. And his goal is to capture more of that. So we created a quick QR code that immediately they fill out. Their information's in his CRM. They're tagged. They're put into a pipeline, and they're automatically sent that information. And then 24 hours later, Greg automatically follows up and then provides them an opportunity to take a next step. And that's all done automated, just shipping one piece away of his daily systems. But without those other 5 core, and if they schedule appointment, he's already got it. They show up for the appointment, he's already got that. They go, they take a significant action, he's already got that piece. So now he's able to really branch out on the front end and bring people in because the rest of that process is there.
And so on my side, doing these things individually, sending out emails, sending out text messages, I'm just one person, but you think about businesses out there that they've got 20 people, 50 people, 100 people doing the same thing. They use a system that goes into place that automatically, as soon as they capture that person's information, it'll automatically send a text message, automatically send an email, 2 days later, send out the email, all the different things. And the booking calendar, hey, I'd like to book an appointment with you. And basically the booking calendar link is there. They click on the booking calendar. Now you get a notification, you got an appointment with this person at 2 o'clock on Thursday. And so that's the automation that I've been praying for, and then building the teams that we're doing. That's like, I want to implement this for everybody. So
there's 4 levels of leads that we come into. Okay. 60% of the people that we're in our sphere that we're marketing to are unaware of our product or service. It is just not flat on their radar. 20% are what we call problem aware. We're kind of on their radar. It's not a big enough deal that they want to do anything about it. 17% are in what we call the gathering information stage. That is the number one biggest chunk of business that you need to be going after. You need to be able to identify those people as quickly as possible, and as quickly as possible add as much value as you possibly can to them. And then 3% that are buying now. And I would imagine that you guys have all had somebody that sat in front of you at some point and talked the talk and said they were going to do all these things, and you really believed them, and then never showed up. Right? How much did that person waste our time? So when you can have systems, hey, is this person gathering information or are they in the buying now stage? My systems are designed to hit all of those leads. Oh, you just became problem aware. Hey, here's another article or here's a video. Would you like to go check it out? I do that because I want to know if the 20% that are starting to gather information or 17%, they're going to physically click on the link. The people that it's not important to enough are physically not going to click on the link. These are basic things that we can now have, all of us, and be able to sort leads at such a faster level. I tell Greg, like, and I don't have to worry about it with him as much as some other clients, but I'm like, I don't want you to stop making phone calls. I just imagine what your business would look like if you made 10 phone calls every day and you already knew those people were in gathering information stage, as opposed to trying to pin the tail on a donkey blindfold. Well, I'm going to make 20 calls today. You might hit nobody that's problem aware. You'd be lucky if you can get somebody to answer the phone. So these systems are out there and they can be the ones leading the front for us. And there was no sense in me coaching each person individually and saying, you need to go build a system and telling them everything they need to build when I could just build it for them. And the results that I've gotten with Greg in 60 days, it would have probably taken me 6 months of coaching if I didn't have a system to deliver the things we're talking about. And so that as a coach, that's the direction I went, is just helping people with that system, having it there. And what I say is I've laid it out. The coach in me is holding you accountable. Is what Greg hired me for, to hold you accountable to doing the right things that are going to chip away, that are going to make the greatest impact on your time. So I've had a lot of fun, and as you can see, I've gotten pretty passionate about it. I'm going to send Greg a form for you guys. I've got a couple classes, one called Scaling Success Through Follow-Up, that really is kind of a longer version of everything I said, broken down bit by bit. And then I've got a class that's the 90-day plan tutorial on how to do your business planning that goes along with that time cost calculator. And Greg, if I could have can I have 2 more minutes?
I'm good. Is it okay? Yes, you got time. Yeah.
Okay. I want to circle back. So you said realistically 250, and you'd originally said 500,000. So now I want to go look at this, and that's 130.21. So I'll remember that when I get over here. Let's say you're going to work on your systems this week and you're going to put 4 hours into it, and you've got, let's say, meetings with clients, 3 hours, and you're going to work on a lead beacon for 1 hour and some social media. So it's 2, and I call them priority blocks. So this is a 45-minute block of time. So it's broken that down from the top. So that's 13 hours, which is about a quarter of the week that you originally talked about. At 500,000, you want to get a return of 2539.06. Okay. Now, if I change this back to 250, your investment in the same amount of time was only worth 1269. So if you're a business and you're going to spend $2,500, do you not want a positive return on that $2,500? Right. Absolutely. It should be at least 2 to 1. And now you just cut your time value down to 1,300. Would you rather get a return on the 2,500, or would you rather get a return on the 1,300? See, that's the difference of moving our goals to a monthly value. I would say for you, if I was going to coach you starting tomorrow, I would say set your goal at 50,000 a month. And what it is you're constantly working towards it until you get there. But if you start treating your time at that value now, you'll start doing things that will get you the return on that. You'll
Certainly
see.
get it easily, I want
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I've kind of built into the system for people, is so that they can get there faster and raise that recurring monthly revenue faster. So thank you for the extra 2 minutes. I hope that was valuable for you guys.
Absolutely. And again, we're talking more about this because again, I'm working with him on a bunch of different things that we're trying to automate all this stuff. Because it's, again, no problems. Like I visit a BNI and I capture the person's information. I'd rather say, oh, here, scan this, and they look at it, they just put the name, phone number, email address in there. Basically now automatically sends them everything. Now they're in the system. It'll automatically track them, send them articles, do different things, whatever. And it's just brilliant. So I think people that, sorry.
Building a system, building systems is so much like the pharmaceutical industry. It costs $350 million for the first pill and 65 cents for the second. You know, it's the first, it might have taken us 20, 25 minutes to get the first form right for somebody to do that. But in the next 5 minutes, I had that form set up so that, and categorized so that he could use an almost identical form in South Africa and Korea in the next 5 minutes, we were able to do it. So when we get that core stuff right, the speed at which you can scale, which is everything that we're looking for these days, you can't match it without systems. You just can't. So guys, thank you for the time. Greg, I'll send you a link if you guys want to access any of these classes, and I'll throw the website in there. My scheduling site's on there. If you guys want to book time, I'd love to meet with you. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you very much. Bless you.
All right, bless you. See you. Bye-bye.
I'm going to share one more thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to share. I'm not going to share. I was going to share a few pictures with you. Again, the one thing that I wanted to share is on the system itself, because the systems itself is pretty phenomenal. So I use the example.
Is this the thing you were trying to?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm finally getting all that stuff figured out. We'll talk more about
Okay.
that. So the big thing that for people that are businesses, do they want, more customers? Do you want to keep your customers longer? Do you want to, scale your business? So people are already paying for all these different services. So they're paying for, again, CRM, pipeline management, sales funnels, website builders, survey forms, email marketing, two-way marketing, booking. So they're paying for all these different things separately, but this system does everything. So what's good about that is that, so again, we have everything from a $97 package to $297 per month, and we can eliminate all these other things that people are doing. So I got a buddy of mine that basically is using something called Kajabi. He's paying $6,000 a month for it. He's now using it and paying $297 a month for that same system. So all these different things, we're going to be able to build websites in here, everything else. So I've partnered with Peter and also partnered with, I don't know if it's Rob from Soluency, maybe no. So Rob from Soluency. So Rob from Soluency is a local guy here that's also utilizing the system, and he basically can set up automations for everybody. If someone says, I don't want to go to a class to learn, I just want someone to set it up for me, he does that. So for like $500, he basically finds out everything you want to do, sets up your systems so that now you've got QR codes, you've got forms on your website, so everything goes the same place and everything is tracked and put in, which is pretty cool. So again, the one thing he already talked about was, the 5 main reasons, follow-up systems, are so critical. And to me, it's just about being more productive. So we've got people that we know that are, in our industry with patches are making over $1 million a year, and because they have systems in place that basically are tracking and doing, everything else. And then again, same thing with Peter. I'll share his details so that you can, talk with him more, but absolutely brilliant individual. He's a true coach, but he's also on the techie side that he knows how to utilize these systems. So it's not just talking about it, it's implementing it as we're doing it. That's why I said, I can have you do it, or I'd rather hire you to basically show me how to do it so we can start implementing this for our whole team, which is pretty cool. So interesting. So I appreciate your time, guys. You are absolutely amazing. So
When I worked for a PEO, we had a similar program that, because we had 20 offices, and I can't even tell you how many sales reps that we had and everything, but they had tracking devices like that, and had us go through all this training every 6 months. They were upgrading it and they would put us through this training and everything that would show us what areas we were getting, you know, more sales in and what industries and who we should be focusing on and where that certain office was at and a lot of that. And it's amazing.
It is, and it's.
I mean, larger companies could do that, you know,
Oh, yeah.
several years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
but.
we use Salesforce with Haibu and they're spending, I don't know how many gobs of hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You know,
Yeah.
so when you look at the different systems and once you set them up, if you said, hey, I got something else I want to let my client base know about, you basically set it up, hit a punch of a button, boom, sends it out to them. You can also send them a text and WhatsApp for international or WhatsApp, and say, hey, I just sent you an email, click, you know, here for the more details or check your email, whatever, you know, and it's punch of a button. And then people that click on it, now you can follow up with them, say, by the way, if you want to discuss this further, here's my calendar, let's set up a time to discuss this specifically. It's for you doing stuff when level stage you're doing, you could, you know, exponentially grow what you're doing because people then can also sign up automatically. That's what we're doing with this.
So does it, really replace the Haibu that we have, or?
Yeah, and that's the part, so it still has a website, but like, Haibu had Haibu Assistant they want us to push. That's $139 a month for just basically a very, very basic. This can integrate with all your social media, all the different stuff. It's 1,000 times stronger and it's even less. So we can do for $97 a month. So it's very cool for people who want to use all the programs. It's basically $297, but still for my clients. So like with Haibu, people will say, well, I like the Haibu system because we can get reviews and we can push out a couple different things and stuff like that. Where this has a whole separate automation to it that includes that plus 20 other things.
So can you do the multiple businesses with it?
What do you mean?
Well, like, you know, I've got custom, I've got Omnia, I've
oh,
got patches.
Yes, absolutely. So that's the thing. So I've got separate sub-accounts set up for each of our businesses that we have. So everything that we have set up basically has a different sub-account. So now I can have, but all the systems you create in one place and you can copy and paste it and just change the verbiage. So now it says Omni Communications and everything else, and same thing with all the other things.
Okay,
And then you also can create accounts for other people on the team, so they can.
so you have to have a separate website still though, or?
Yeah, it's because that's what they do have, where you basically can link the website or create the website on their platform, so they
Okay.
have WordPress and several other different ones that they use. So, but I can have someone that can, you know, so I got like 10 different website builders that they can do that, but integrate with the system. So
Okay.
everything's built on there, so it's all integrated with. So we have people that actually within their templates they have within the high level program, they can build a website or have someone build it within there too. And it's like, you know, hosting fee, $19 a month.
Okay,
So it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of things that we're talking about with a lot of these different people saying, hey, let's just find out all these things that you're spending money on and let's start creating these exact same things and putting them in here. And some people are like, oh, well, we're so used to the system. Great. What if we had another system that could do this for you? We just pay someone to basically integrate and move everything over. And it's already done. So it's cool. So definitely set up a one-to-one, set up a one-to-one to talk more. So set up a one-to-one with me so we can talk more. That would